What is up, Jets Chaos with Jeremy? I am the Chaos, and my name is Jeremy. There's a lot of question marks. A lot of question marks. Well, nobody was live, man. We can't have that. We got the big panel tonight coming up with Jets Talk 24/7, and usually there's a few people on right about now that I know, and I didn't see them. So I figured, let me jump on and do a pre-show, right? We got a big night of Jets conversation ahead of us. We got the Jets Talk 24/7 talking panel with Ryan, Matt O'Leary, and Green Bean. And then Green Bean is returning with his late night show. So we all got to be really excited about that. How are we, Disregard Papa? So we have hours of Jets talk. So I figure let's make it even harder on you and your ears as you have to sit through even more of it with me because you just can't get enough. What is up with Matthew Smith? I saw you the other night, and I didn't highlight one of your posts. But I'm here now. And we got the Grandizer. I'm going to read this. This is our thing. I always know it's not an imposter when I say this. No. You insulted him just a little bit. You were a little out of line. That was the last thing that guy heard before he was like just savagely killed and murdered. So oh boy, I'm gonna stay out of that one. So hey, I just released some videos celebrating a little bit. Celebrating what? Well, I finally broke through the video. It was kind of fun and nice. It was it's at like 1,600 views right now. I mean, I'm still like being very greedy and wanting it to go to like 5,000-6,000. But as you may have noticed on the channel, I started doing some short videos. I realized that that's something you're supposed to do if you want to build your channel up. So I let go of the reality that I have to edit them, and I'm just recording and publishing. So you get to see mistakes. I don't get to clean up a lot of uhs in between my sentences. Sorry about that, but I just don't have time in life to do perfect editing. So that's that. But what is this? What is he saying? Late night Jets class with your professor. Is this late night though? What is this? I'll put a bot on my computer to get 20K. If you can figure out how to do that, you have more things to do with your time because you can become very rich. Yes, 30 more subs to 600. That would be nice and fast, right? It'd be great if this doesn't drag on and they just pop to 600. So I could say at least I went from 500 to 600 really quickly. That would be a nice thing. Thoughts on meeting with well, yeah. So I just did a video on it, but I'll talk about it now live. Interested in how you guys feel it. Larry Ogunjobi. This is no tiny little move, in my opinion. He is not like a small little just, addition that you just add on, and it's not like the same thing as adding on Solomon. This is a player that would make us significantly better in the middle of our defensive line. The fact that he was there 2 days, the one thing that's hard to predict about JD is it depends on how much money they want. Now, the fact that he wants 2 days, before he came in and did all these physicals, there must have been some conversation or some understanding of what the contract expectation was. Otherwise, why waste your time? Why would these guys waste all their effort and time and have him in for literally 2 days to do all this if they weren't in the neighborhood of being able to have a deal or close a deal? So my opinion would be, because we know that Joe Douglas has his number and he's not going to go over. He's not going to get emotional. He has his value on people. I don't know. I honestly don't know how much he's going to cost. It's hard to believe he'd be on the cheap. But I mean, and I talked about this. Look, this guy, aside from this one injury, that took him out of last year, this is a guy who has been on the field, right? This is what we want. This is a guy that's not an injury-prone player. He's in his prime. He's 27. He's coming off his best year. He started in Cleveland, went to Cincinnati, and had his best year last year. Unfortunately, he missed the Super Bowl run, but he had 7 sacks last year. Internal defensive lineman, not bad, right? It's only 2 off of what Quinnen Williams. 41 pressures. So, I mean, this guy disrupts in the backfield. 12 tackles for losses, which is nice. 16 quarterback hits, actual hits. So this is a real deal guy. He would be a significant player to add to Q Williams. I think he's better than Sheldon Rankins. He's better than any of the other guys we have. Like, he would instantly make. I mean, well, JFM is pretty good on the inside too, isn't he? But if we can put him there, but I would definitely say the strongest 4 we'd have if we signed Larry Ogunjobi would be Larry and Quinnen in the middle. I mean, we're going to assume Jermaine Johnson is going to be better than Curry right off the bat. If not, we should be concerned. So I'm going to just say now that he's going to hit, and JJ is going to work out and be really good. So let's say that it's going to be Carl Lawson comes back strong from injury. You get Q Williams and man, I'm going to take time learning his name, Ogunjobi in the middle, and you got JJ on the other side. Pretty formidable. You could rotate in Vin Curry if he makes the team. He's got to be healthy and come back well enough to make the team. You could rotate in JFM on either the outside or the inside. I mean, they could use him any way they want to use him. You got Brian Huff, we still have Huff who can come in and rotate in. You got Sheldon Rankins, obviously, who could rotate in and play in the middle. There's a lot of depth. I mean, this is what we need to have. I mean, this is the focal point of the team. We didn't get to have it last year. So this is where the defense is built for this scheme. So this would be really nice. It'd be a great pickup. It would just make us stronger and stronger. And you see what they're trying to build. If they add him, you see, it's very evident. They want to dominate the trenches. I still think we got work to do on the offensive side as far as depth, but on the defensive side, if we sign this guy, we're deep. So it would be very nice. I'd really love to sign this guy. I mean, not strong like edge, but not bad. Yeah, I mean, look, if we bring this guy in, when you consider Larry and Quinnen, and then you consider JFM and Sheldon Rankins as your 3 and 4 guys. And then you still have Marshall, that young dude. We'll see if he gets any better and takes a step up and gets some playing time. Shep, I mean, I don't Shep play on the outside or the inside. No, I think he's more the inside. So I don't know, man. We'd be pretty deep. It all sounds good to me. Who would you cut? Well, that's the question. Who would you cut? What is his name? Chinuga? I mix up the two that's on the offensive line and defensive line. There's 2 guys named Chinuga or Duga or whatever. Maybe Marshall doesn't make the team. Maybe they're not impressed with him. I mean, we'll find out. But yeah, it's a good problem to have, though, right? It's a good problem to have when you have to scratch your head and say, who do you cut? Maybe practice squad, now that there's no more limitations on who you could put on the practice squad. So maybe you just throw somebody on there. I mean, the depth is absolutely crazy. It could be like our strongest position. Hey, Snacks, what's up, Jets? Mess. I mean, no way we can get this many D linemen. I know, but think about it. Maybe somebody gets traded. Maybe Sheldon Rankins gets traded. Who knows? Maybe a blockbuster trade with Quinnen Williams. That's not going to be a popular thing to say. People would not be happy to hear that. It depends what we got back, though, of course, right? I mean, any trade is digestible to fans if you bring back the correct talent. Like if you get the return. But I don't think that's where they're going now. I don't want to start any crazy talk. I think that we're just going to have a very competitive camp in D line. And, that was one of the things we were taking in the draft. We were picking guys in the second and third round. We were screaming for defensive tackle that we needed to put someone in there. I don't know if it fills the long-term young up and coming, like for years kind of role that we were hoping for. But it certainly makes it that we don't have to worry about it for a while, right? We can worry about defensive tackle, maybe drafting a guy next year in the draft, to get that young blood in. And also, if Marshall pans out, we might have a guy that's going to be around for a while. What does my boy Tigo say? Being in a position to cut players is where every team wants to be. Exactly. Well said, my friend. Well said. Talking Jets with Tigo. I'm sure most of you are already subs. If you're not, he's the new one of the hottest guys on Jets content on YouTube. And he's on this show a lot. We'll have him on again soon. Actually, I was going to reach out to you, Tigo, so keep your eyes open about when to get you back on again. Absolute talent, very talented YouTube content provider, always has great points and delivers it very well. Before all those injuries, he's more natural there. Yeah, I agree. I like JFM on the inside. We're paying him a lot of money, so we have big plans for him. I think he's going to be versatile, though. I think he's going to rotate around. He's going to be that guy that we could just move anywhere. Anyway, back to him, Ogunjobi. Aside from all those good numbers, and the fact that he stays healthy most of the time throughout his career, he also could play on the left or right. He could play over either guard. So he's a little versatile in that. He's not one-dimensional where he's stuck over on one side of the defensive line. He's a guy you could rotate around the defensive line on, either side, put him on either the left or the right guard. So that's kind of nice. He's even lined up at nose tackle at times. You think Thomas overrated, I think you're trying to say, right? Thomas overranking, in my opinion, but which Thomas? Like I'm going brain dead right now. So I thought you were trying to say Rankins, Sheldon Rankins is overrated, because I'd agree with that. I think they may cut Rankins. Yeah, I mean, it would cut money off the cap, but if his deal is not bad, it is Joe Douglas. He might be able to, swipe a fifth round pick. So yeah, we'll see what happens with him. Hey, Jetman just started getting ready to watch some NHL hockey. I'll be back later if you're still streaming. Jet. Eagle Eye won't, but where I'll be tonight is I will be watching Jets 24/7 with Green Bean, Matt O'Leary, and Ryan. And then after they are finished, Green Bean is going to be doing a late night show. So I won't be on. I might, I don't know. I mean, if Green Bean needs help, I sometimes go back and act as like kind of a producer. He won't call it that because it sounds too important to call me a producer, but I do kind of direct him a lot in the back when I'm in his stream in the back stage. I do a lot of pointing out chats that he should read. I point out all the super chats, but I also tell him who's on and who he should say hello to, and when he has a new subscriber, those kind of things. And that is kind of what a producer does, whether he wants to admit it or not. So I'll be doing that tonight. I'm not going to be on live tonight, but I'm just giving everybody some warm up. This is just a warm up, man. Just a warm up for the big shit, for the big boys for now. But Tigo will tell you, because he's more energetic and young and robust in this way. He will say, in a year from now, we will be the big boys and we will be the panel that everybody's rushing to see. So I'm with that. What's up, Sean? Good to see you, my friend. I saw you were making some great points the other night as well. I appreciated you being on the show, in the chat and talking and everything. You're always supporting, so I appreciate you, Sean. Anthony, one of my OGs, originals. Yeah, man, I'm waiting for when the linebacker thing is going to happen. Like it is a little weird to me. I guess they really like our linebackers. I mean, I think that's the only explanation, is that they really, really believe in our linebackers a lot more than we do. So, I mean, it's obvious that they do, but it's shocking to me because I wasn't impressed outside of CJ. I thought he was like the lonely linebacker all by himself. I mean, Quincy Adams made some good plays, but he's got to get a lot better for us to really rely on him as like a solid linebacker. I mean, he made too many mistakes and too many misses as well. Is there one spot you want to be deep? It's the defensive line, especially. No question about it, man. That's exactly why we're in the situation where we're talking about who we're going to cut, right? Because there was a focus and there was a priority of making it a deep position. And JD doesn't care if you're good in a position. If there's an opportunity to make something better, he's going to make it better. It's just that simple. So maybe we're okay at defensive line, but this guy is just hanging around out there, and we can get him at fair value. We're going to make us a better team, and we're gonna suck him in and get him. So, yeah, hopefully it would be a long-term deal. But he's 27, and JD is not exactly known for the longest-term deals. It's hard to think of a player he's guaranteed 3 years to, except for Carl Lawson. I think that's the only one I can. It's the only one I can think of right now that got 3 years guaranteed, player guaranteed money was Carl Lawson. I can't think of another player that we gave a guaranteed 3 years to. Well, that JD did. Maybe George Fans. Was he guaranteed for the 3 years even? I don't even know. So we'll see. But he's having a hard time getting signed because he's not signed yet. Are we planning on a $40 million for 3 years? I hear that's what the Bears were going to give him. He may have lost something, but we could definitely afford it, right? We were ready to pay Tyreek Hill. It would have cost 25 against the cap this year, so we were ready to pay him. I just think whatever we pay him, as far as like the length of the contract, it's not going to run into the young guys when we have to start paying everybody from last year's draft. So it's going to be well coordinated with that. That's what I could see he's doing. He's not extending any contracts to interfere with the re-signing of AVT and Elijah Moore and Michael Carter II. And most importantly, Zach Wilson. Yeah, I agree, JFK. It is it's really on Zach. It really is. It's really hard to look at the roster and not clearly recognize that we're going to be a better team. It's like hard to imagine. How could we not be better? It's just Zach. He's got to step forward. He's got to progress. He's got to take the next step. There's no question about it. Everybody says 4-13, and can we win 8 games this year? I want to point out, without being ravaged with injuries last year, there's a solid chance we win 6 games. There's we might be able to really honestly say that we're a 6-win team. I mean, we beat Tampa without a communication. It was a stupid miscommunication. Otherwise, we win that Tampa game. That ball goes to Berrios at the end. We won that game. So, that would be 5 right there. And then you take away some of those injuries. That Carolina game, we had Redwine covering, who slipped on that play. He's a safety who came out of nowhere off the garbage heap. Wasn't even on the team, really. I'm not trying to make excuses. I'm just saying we could have just as easily been a 6-win team. So to say we're going to win 8 or 9 games, it's really not that much of a leap. It's really not anything crazy. Plenty of teams that have horrible years, especially 2 in a row, bounce back with 7 to 9 wins. It's not like the most unheard of thing. We're not talking about a miracle here. The real question is, can we make a playoff run, or at least be in the hunt up until the end of the year, so we're not freaking doing mock drafts in November. What is up, my friend? Just got home from coaching basketball and was gonna go live. I beat you to it. I was just getting on before Ryan goes on. Nick, you go on too long to go on live. You don't have the discipline to do a quick jump on for 40 minutes before the Jets panel gets on. I have the discipline. Like, I'll come on, I'll do the warm-up. I'm like the warm-up act. You would just stay on and then wonder, why did everybody just leave? It's like, because Jets Talk 27 started. I'm just giving you a hard time, Nick. Just giving you a hard time. JW, thanks for saying his last name, spelling it out. It's easy for me to say when I'm reading it from text. Ogunjobi would complete our defense and strength up as the front. Yeah, I think he would definitely give us a powerhouse defensive line. Depending on JJ. I mean, Jermaine Johnson has to work out, and Carl Lawson has to come back healthy. I mean, there are a couple of things that could go wrong, right? I mean, we're all so excited about it. What if Carl Lawson comes back and he's not the same? Because there are guys who have not been able to completely come back from an Achilles. They come back and they're not the same. And what if JJ's a complete miss? The only insurance I think we have to that, if JJ's a miss, for example, is that I think Michael Clemens might be the sleeper. Like, and might be the guy. He might end up being better than JJ, so maybe he's going to be the guy that steps up. But it is possible that we still have trouble pressuring quarterbacks. Like, there are question marks. Anytime there's a rookie coming in, it's a question mark. And anytime you have a guy coming back from an Achilles, it's a question mark. So we still, there are, I could, not to be negative, but I could talk scenarios where, that are negative, where things don't go well for us. But I still think we're better than last year. Even with all that, we should still, again, win 7 to 8 games. Or even if that happens and we don't pressure the quarterback, I still don't understand why we wouldn't win 6, 7, 8 games, even in a worst case scenario like that. And the offensive line's got to stay healthy, and Zach has got to get a little better. JJ, Carl DTs, Dave Williams, Franklin. Yeah, it's crazy. It's just we need linebackers though, but it's only been 2 years since 16, 17 months ago, we had a completely different roster. Like, if you look at the change in the roster from 16, 17 months ago to right now today. So it's impossible to cover every position. But it seems a little like, what is going on with linebacker? Can't we just get one solid, reliable linebacker on the team with Mosley? Like, is that so much? Is it so hard to do? It seems like there's guys out there. So I don't get it. We all thought the same about cornerback room last year. Oh, you talk about linebackers, so maybe the linebacker room will be better than we think. I wouldn't even be surprised if that's the case, because I do trust JD. I do trust the coaches, so they like the linebackers we have. The moment 16, an asteroid hit the ground. Enough jet stock. You're in the wrong place. You want to go to? I'm sure there are rooms that are talking about the history of the planet or whatever that. So straight 100 Jets. He's got a channel too. Make sure you check it out. He's working to make videos and make content and share information with y'all. So definitely check him out. I appreciate his support. It's nice we still have holes at linebacker. Yeah, so everybody's saying the same thing. Here's somebody new in the chat, Jet for 2. Thanks for joining. See how the Jets have a lot of beefcakes, all the fixings on the D-lines. Who do you see standing out? I think Q Williams has to stand out. Otherwise, we're not going to re-sign him. So Q Williams has to stand out. Now, it's not like, I'm not saying he was bad last year. And I do like his timing. He seems to get sacks at big moments, like 3rd and long and things like that. He does step up. But it's just based on where we picked him. And if his agent's going to ask for 18 to 20 million a year on some gigantic contract, he's got to be better than he was, because he's not living up to his draft pick / $20 million guy or whatever it's going to be. He's going to have to be more dominant, more consistent throughout more games if he's going to want that kind of contract. But I still see him standing out. It's hard to say on the edge because we have so many possible guys that can stand out. Like if Carl Lawson comes back at 100%, and the camp he was having last year, right? It's hard to imagine him not standing out. He's also, clearly a very strong leader, and very vocal on the field. So I think he would stand out. But what if JJ is a gold mine hit? Like what if JJ's the jackpot? What if he's the best edge that comes out of this draft? He's certainly considered the most pro ready. So if he comes in on fire, maybe he's going to stand out. The dream, and then Michael Clemens, but maybe the dream, and Huff can still improve. Maybe the dream is that they're all going to hit. Like JJ's going to be amazing. Carl Lawson's going to be at full strength. This guy Clemens is going to come in and get sacks and be forcing his way into the lineup. And then on the inside, Williams is going to dominate, and if we sign this guy, Joby, Ogunjobi, maybe maybe it's hard for anyone to stand out. But, even in the New York Sack Exchange, Gastineau still stuck out. So, and that was with Klecko, who should be a Hall of Famer, as we all know. And Marty Lyons, who was amazing. And Abdul Salam had a couple of good years for us. So, but Gastineau stood out. He was, maybe for other reasons too. He was a charismatic player as well. I remember at the time, we all wanted to be Gastineau, he's so. But anyway, if you haven't subbed, make sure you sub, my friend. Thanks for being on. And my friend Watsu K99, my co-host for tomorrow's Wacky Wednesday show. Good to see you, man. Just thought I would jump on. Everybody check out my short videos now, man. I've been popping in those short videos. I think by the views you guys have. So I appreciate that support. Remember to hit the like button on those videos. If you like them, it helps get more people to see them. I got one that's, setting records for me. So helping me out a lot. Got me a lot of subs. So I'm really excited about it. I'm going to try to hit again with another good one. We need a year of evolution to know the true team needs. They might love someone at safety linebacker, maybe a position change. That's true. Oh, I'm going to sneeze. I tried to hit the mute button one time, but I couldn't. Guys, you have no idea. Sacramento, for those of you who've never been here, in the spring and this time of year is absolutely slaughter. Like, even if you're not a person with allergies, you have allergies. It's like the air is pollen. It's absolutely out of control. So Grandizer is still here. Let's see what you guys have to say. Well, here's a newer person. Ruggs 89, New York. I saw you the other day. Mims, Becton, Lawson. In addition to last year's draft class and this is free agent, we could seriously unleash some whip ass, and we're not done. Yeah, it is excited. It's very exciting. We don't talk about the offensive side. We're getting Becton back, and he looks great. That's exciting. And Mims, I am not giving up on Mims. I'm glad a lot of people are coming out and realizing that they shouldn't have given up on Mims either. It's one bad year. He's healthy this year. He put on 20 pounds of muscle. We'll see what he's got. 2 years with a club option. It's very possible. That sounds like a JD type contract to me. You got to look at the player's thighs. It's always good. That's why I like. What about the running backs, man? Got to look at the upper legs, and you could see all the great running backs what their upper legs are like. Only the Jets would spend a decade being terrible, and finally it looks like we can be good, and the entire AFC gets stacked. We can't worry about our opponent. We can't worry about the other teams, right? I mean, the reality is we just have to get great. And I honestly believe, as good as some of those other teams are, that we're doing it in a way that we're going to be very special. Because we're doing it via draft with young studs. We're just bringing in great young talent. And those teams are going to all bump into issues with free agency and these highly paid guys when they get hurt, and then you don't have the cap flexibility. And there's a lot of things that can go wrong when you build teams the way that some of the AFC teams are building it. So I'm gonna think positively, and really it's just build a great team and give yourself a chance every year, and then things happen. And that's what we have to focus on. Just build a great team, keep bringing in young talent, and be in the mix. So maybe I'll take a prove it deal. I don't know about $6 million though, bro. He had his career year last year, so I don't know about $6 million. The only thing you could hold against him is those missed tackles, which seems to be his problem. He does miss tackles because he over pursues. Mark Reese, what's up, my friend? Showing up late, but I'm glad you're here, man. We're just getting ready for the big show, right? I'm sure I'll see you tonight in the big show, if you know what I mean. Let's see. Why don't I see you here, Mark Reese? Oh, there you are. Mark Reese is a moderator. He never even mentioned to me or asked about it. Like, don't you wonder why the blue wrench is next to your name, Mark Reese? It's because if somebody gets fresh or somebody's messing up the chat, I trust you, and I know that you'll know who to block and who to get rid of spam and stuff for me. So you have power, my friends. Orlovsky thinks Zach can take a step and leave, and Mahomes didn't. Yeah, I mean, well, we're not gonna see Zach throw 50 touchdowns most likely, because something will have went really wrong with our plans if he does. As much as I'd love to see it, I'm a big Zach fan, but yeah, I mean, look, man, I'm such a big Zach Wilson fan. I ordered his jersey, within 24 hours after we drafted him. Within 24 hours after we had the confirmation of what his number was. But I believe that with all my heart. I believe he's going to be incredibly special. I really do. I do. I'm like, I have to control my enthusiasm for him as a content provider because it's just like I don't want to be so blatantly a homer by talking so positively about him like I did last year. I'm trying to be more realistic and grounded. But when I shut my computer off, I'm all about Zach Wilson, man. Like I'm all about him. I don't know if he's going to be a superstar year two. I don't like comparing him to other people the way they took their steps. I just don't, I think it's very possible that he's going to have a major step and be like that and be a star right away. But I also think it's possible that he's going to take the kind of like the Allen route and still need have more flashes, progress, but not really have that breakout to year three. I would love it to have it happen this year. I just want to shut everybody up. I want to shut up all the haters. I just want to shut them up with Zach Wilson, have him have a breakout year and say, everybody that was against it, now you get to admit you were wrong. And if you're a Jet fan, be happy you were wrong. Celebrate him and be happy that we got our franchise quarterback and we put it to rest and no more of the crap. I don't want to spend another season defending Zach Wilson. I want him to come out and be a stud. Yeah, well, it's an interesting point about JFM and that extension we gave him. But you don't know what opportunities of who's going to be there, who you're going to get to pick up, and the way they designed his contract, it's not really a painful contract because it ends before we need the money. Like we kept cap flexibility. We're going to have more cap next season. Like it's going to go up for every team. Like we're in good shape. And by the time we need to re-sign everybody, his contract won't be an issue. Like it's not going to be taking up that much money. And if he does, like if he comes in next year and he's a stud in the middle, like if he comes in and we play him in the middle and he's as good as Q Williams or close and he's disruptive and he's great for us, then we got him on a very, very friendly deal at $12.5 million or whatever it is. Like that's actually a very friendly deal for a proven D-line guy that can, that's very good, that shines. So I don't know. I don't know. But would we have done it if we knew we were going to land these guys? That's a good question. When Zach improves, not if, he was pretty bad, so improving should be easy. Yeah, he was bad, but he was bad in some games, and he flashed in other games. Part of it was him, and part of it was us, right? We can't all sit there and say, we failed Sam Darnold. We stunk for him. We didn't give him any weapons. We didn't do anything for him. And then turn around and not acknowledge that Zach Wilson, in his first 6 games, before he got hurt, literally had the least amount of time before pressure. 1.7 seconds. That's what our offensive line was giving him. 1.7 seconds. And if you look, when the offensive line gave him average to better than average pass protection, he was good. So, again, it won't be hard to improve on that year, though. But I don't think it's just about Zach. I think it's about improving on that year because our offensive line should have no problem improving in consistency on the year. And our wide receiver room, our tight end room, and our running back room all got significantly better. Can we sign the Bengals? DG, please. Our D line would be top 10. Yeah, man. Well, I think we're working on it. But Joe Douglas, no emotion. He takes his time. Ogunjobi is his name, by the way. Ogunjobi. I'm reading it now so I can see. Daily 83, where were you, man? I thought somebody kidnapped you. You've been gone so long. Where have you been, buddy? It's good to see you. Daily 83 in the house. Nick goes too long. That's what she said. She never said that. Oh, you guys are hysterical. Okay, I'm way behind in the chat. Oh no, maybe I'm not. Somehow I got zapped down. I'm sorry for anybody that I skipped, I apologize. Nathan Colgrove, what's up? What would you make of a potential? Look, man, bring it. Like, I know people, I don't know what people are hoping for. Like I don't want to be in Buffalo game 1, right? I don't want to be in Buffalo game 1 and then be what would be even worse after that, and then follow it up with what's a tough game that we got? Who do we play? There's some tough NFC team we play. Like I don't want to have like our hardest two games on the road be weeks 1 and 2 or something crazy like that, where it's going to shake our confidence. And we're going to start with a big O. I would like it to be a winnable game. The Patriots better be a winnable game. Like we can't be afraid of the Patriots. That's one of the things that have to change. We can't be afraid. The team has to go in there believing that they're better than the Patriots, and they're going to just go in and beat them. Like, we have to take that step. If we can't beat the Patriots, we got big problems. So I'm not saying we have to sweep them, but we have to beat them at least one of the two games. So if it's the Patriots, I think 9-11, bring it. Bring it. I personally think they might, bring on Jacksonville again, and it might be the Jaguars. I could see that matchup happening. So we'll see. That's not going to be an easy game, by the way. It wasn't easy last year. They had the ball at the 1 yard line. They could have easily beaten us. So, I don't know. They made a lot of improvements too. I'm not taking any team for granted, but I'm also not writing us off on winning any game. I'm kind of like, it's like goes both ways. No game is easy in my mind, and no game is unwinnable. Oh, yes, it's an honor. Well, you are a loyal and loyal supporter, and also a friend, man. I like talking to you and hanging out with you on Green Beans Patreon. So I'm happy to do it. If we ever win the Super Bowl, we're going to be an obnoxious group of son of a bitches like New England. Yeah, of course, man. We're going to be. I don't want to get spoiled though. I don't want to be like the Niner fans became, where like everything that's not a Super Bowl is a disappointing year, and we fire coaches and we give up on quarterbacks, and like I don't want it to be ridiculous like that. Like I hope that we at least. I think that I hope we at least appreciate it when we win and never take it for granted. And still appreciate good years. Like if we win the Super Bowl and the next year we lose in the AFC Championship game, like I hope we could still clap and say good season, and just think about the next year and not sit there and scream fire Salah, because now our expectation is he has to win the Super Bowl every year and not appreciate the run, and appreciate the winning. I plan on being unbearable when we win. I'll have at least one unbearable day. There'll be a day where people who don't like other teams don't want to see me. Like I'll be on here celebrating and being, bopping my bald head around and just annoying people. Don't worry about that. Like the Ravens and Steelers. Do you consider them? Are they terrible winners? I don't know. I think I don't know. Miami hasn't even won anything for almost as long as we have, and they walk around like with their head in the air like they're the greatest team in the world. Their fans, it's amazing to me. Hello, Chris Bradigan. Grandizer's not going to like that comment, but it is true. You notice the cockiness of Miami fans, and they show those 5 old guys, and every time the Dolphins, until they lose a game, they show them with the champagne. And it's like it was 1973, guys, and you haven't won a Super Bowl since. Maybe we need to take it easy and stop putting yourself in the category of San Francisco and Dallas and the Steelers and the organizations that have won multiple Super Bowls and like lots of Super Bowls. And it's like stop thinking you're any better than the Jets. You've been just as sorry an organization as we have. You haven't won anything in freaking 48 years or something. So, John, what are your thoughts on rolling with LaMarcus Joyner and Davis to complement Whitehead? My problem is that I don't like LaMarcus Joyner. He stays healthy. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what LaMarcus Joyner looks like in our defense. I simply don't know. So I just hope it works out, and I'm going to trust JD. I'm going to trust what they're doing. We certainly have a lot of functional guys. We just don't seem to have, outside of Whitehead, we don't seem to have any like really solid guys that we completely trust and think are great players. But we have a lot of guys vying to be good players. Like Pinnock, we don't know what his ceiling is as a safety. And I don't, Ashton Davis is still getting better. And so I don't know for a fact that he can't rise to the level we need him to be, but at the same time, they're question marks. So I don't know, but I do like the volume of safeties we have. I just wish we had at least one more guy that was like very solid, one more Whitehead type guy. But anyone, guys, hey, the Jets panel is going to start. I don't have to run out because we all know Ryan doesn't start until like 5:07 or 8:07. So, if we have a 4th and goal from the 1, who are we handing the ball to? That's a good question. I mean, it depends. Does Donovan Knight make the team? Because he might be the power back. He might have that role. Do you go with a veteran in Coleman? Do you go with our new guy Breece Hall, who's pretty strong himself? And what are you trying to do with that play? Like, I mean, 4th and 1, you have to get the yard, so you don't mess around with Michael Carter, because Michael Carter 3rd and 1, maybe you pound it, you break free, and sometimes you have on 3rd and 1, you have that long 50, 60-yard run, fine. But Michael Carter, not on 4th and 1, because he has a lot of skills and strengths, and I love Michael Carter, but he's not the guy you want to run in the stack line, because he's like even though he's good at breaking contact in the open, he's not going to run into 300-pound defensive linemen if they get through and penetrate. I don't like that. Like, I would rather have like a Breece Hall, or if he makes the team, a Knight, Zonovan, like a power guy who picks his spot and then pounds into it with just pure force and strength. People might not agree with that, but that's just how I feel. Oh, okay. You skip Ryan's show. All right. But I'll see you later at Green Bean's show then. Or maybe I should just hang out here alone with Friggle D during Ryan's show. Me and Friggle will just catch up. Larry Ogunjobi. Maybe, possibly. I think there's like a 65-70% chance we sign him. Honestly, I think it's 60-70, I don't think it's 50-50. I think there's a better chance we sign him. I think this is like the Morgan Moses thing. I think we might have to be patient, but I think they're working out the contract. So, but we'll see. Breece finds and creates. Yeah, I like finds the crease. That's what Breece does, man. He finds it and he hits it, and he'll shuffle. He'll, like, if he runs into it, he can slide around it or break it or find a new path or change direction. Like, that's what he's going to be great at. He's going to be the guy that you think that we're stopped, and he's going to bounce off, and the guy he'll be that pinball that bounces and then explodes into a new hole. And you're going to love. Everyone's going to love Breece Hall. Just wait. I mean, just wait. I looked at him. I've been watching games, and I really feel like I have a strong idea of what he's going to look like and what he's going to be, and I'm very excited about it. And those of you who know me, have been around to the mock drafts, you know that was pre-draft that I felt that way. Look, JD is just not a guy who jumps into a contract. He fights over every detail. He works through every detail. He thinks everything out. He's a hardcore negotiator. So he knows what he needs the contract to be and what it needs to say. And he's not afraid to walk away and say it doesn't work, but he's ready to pull the trigger. I think there's a chance. I think there's a good chance we're going to get the kid. Day 2 visit. Believe me, they know they're in the ballpark money-wise. They wouldn't have went that deep if they didn't already know that they had a workable contract. I don't think that means Rankins is gone. I think I don't think it means he's gone. I think there's a chance we might see a trade. There's a chance that he might be gone and we free up that money. It might even happen the next day. But I don't think that it means that. Like, I don't think signing him means we automatically drop Rankins. I think it could be a result. You might see it happen depending on what JD's plan is financially. That might be part of how he's going to pay Ogunjobi. So there's a possibility that we'll see one signed and the other cut, and Rankins is gone. But I don't think it means that, if that makes any sense. I think it could be what it means, but it doesn't definitively mean that. I think there's a chance you could see Rankins still on our team and that they could coexist, and we're just going to have a very deep rotation because they value that. So, But I'd rather see a trade, like Tigo saying. I don't think his contract is that bad that we wouldn't be able to trade him and get something. Especially it's JD, right? I mean, JD got something for what? Dan Brown. He got us a starting right guard. So let's never underestimate JD. Depth is a good thing. It certainly is. Let's see who's that. You don't think he's tradable though? Well, we'll see. It's JD. Did you think Dan Brown was tradable? Did you think Chris Herndon was tradable? Did you think we can get a number 2 pick and a number 4 for Sam Darnold? You know, it's JD. He does things that like normal GMs aren't able to do. It's like a superhero GM. So we'll never know. Yeah, we got rid of Glassman. We got traded. That's a good point. So you never really know. We'll see what happens. I'm not too worried about it. Let's get the guy signed and then let them work it out. Either way, we get him signed, we became a better football team, and we continue to get better, and JD continues to amaze. And it also shows if we sign him more and more that we are not waiting. We want to win right away. Anyway, gotta go. It is time. I'm going to leave you with this. I forgot to do it before. I'll leave you with this, and I'll see you guys tonight in the chat. Don't not be Thibodeau. And here it comes. It's about to come in. Oh, my God. They didn't. They took Sauce Gardner. Oh, my God. They don't want an edge. Maybe he likes Jermaine Johnson at 10. Then we're not going to get a wide receiver? Garrett Wilson, wide receiver. Oh, my God. No edge.
Who's sitting there?
The Jets traded up. Are we taking JJ? Are we taking JJ? Because I know Braden is in New Zealand saying, we should get Lily, Mike. He's definitely saying that. JJ! We got Johnson! We got Johnson at 26! This is great! Yes! They took Roger McCreary. They didn't take Dean. We traded up. We can get Nakobe Dean. It really is. They took Breece Hall. Wow. I mean, look, I love Breece Hall. But there's also Jeremy Ruckert, who I think is the best tight end in the class personally. They took Jeremy Ruckert. Yes! We got a Jeremy. Oh, and the Jets pick, and it's Max Mitchell, offensive tackle. We needed that. Wow. We took Michael Clemens. I never heard of him. A defensive edge.